So it is currently 6 AM here in the UK, and the challenge today is to fly to Portugal to try Nando's, more specifically PERi-PERi Chicken. So as usual, I'm going to do the whole trip in one day. So my flight leaves in a couple of hours and my flight back is later on this afternoon. So I don't have much time to get this challenge done. So with that said, let's head in, go through security, and I'll give you a little bit more info about my flights. Right, so security all done. Let me give you a little bit more info about my flights. So today I'm flying from Leeds Bradford Airport and I'm heading to Faro in Portugal. Departure time is 7:50 and I should be in Faro by 11 AM. Departure time out of Faro is 7:30 PM. So I have about 8 hours in the city, but you do have to factor in getting to and from the airport and being at the airport early for security. So I probably only have about 5 good hours there. Only £1. That's a good deal. Right, so for those of you who don't know, Nando's is one of the most popular restaurants in the UK, famous for its piri-piri spiced chickens, with its origins in Southern Africa and Portugal, hence the visit today. Okay, so it looks like we're boarding and I'm at gate 3. Let's head to the gate. It's back the way I came. Right, boarding pass is checked, let's head on board. I'm a little disappointed you don't get to walk out onto the runway to board the plane on foot. And I've made it to Portugal, and let me tell you, it's boiling hot. Right, so this, I think, is passport control. Right, finally made it through border control. Took about 45 minutes. I've now officially made it out into Portugal. I just need to figure out how to get to the centre of Faro. I think there's a bus, but I'm not quite sure where to get it from. So let's have a look around and see if we can find the bus stop. Autocarros bus. I think it's this way. Right, I think I've spotted the bus stop across the road over there. So it's heading over there. Bus stop this way. There's not too many people at the bus stop. Why is that? Right, I've had a look at the timetable. I don't know if you can see that. I think it says the next bus to Faro is at 2:30. The one before was 11:30, which I've just missed. It's about 10 to 12 right now. So I think the next one is in, what's that, an hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours? That can't be right. Surely that can't be right. The next bus to the centre of Faro in about 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to go inside the airport and ask someone. Right, I asked someone inside. They told me to get the bus 14, 15 or 16 that goes to the centre of Faro, and the next one is at 12:05 from the same bus stop. So let's head back there now. So I've managed to buy a ticket from one of the ticket machines that someone helped me with. I do also have to say, Portugal right now is absolutely boiling hot. I think it's about 26, 27 degrees. Back in the UK this morning, I think it was only about 11. Hello. Obrigado. I'm on board. Let's head to the centre of Faro. I've just had a bit of a thought. I'm not really sure where to get off, so I think I'm just going to get off where most people get off.
Wait a bit, right? Yeah, but with a place to get started.
And I've made it to the centre of Faro. I got off at Terminal Rodoviario. This is where most people got off, so I got off here too. I'm hoping you can get a bus back to the airport from there, because that's where I'm going to come back to after my meal. Okay, so let me tell you my plan for today. The plan is find a great PERi-PERi chicken place, try it out, maybe try out some other famous Portuguese foods, and if we have time, probably go and check out the sea as well.
And how much do you want it then?
We'll drink 2 10.
So in the end I had to pay 50 euros.
Well, you're probably thinking, why Faro? Well, the region that Faro is in, the Algarve, is famous for PERi-PERi chicken. And also, the flights were cheap. Well, not that cheap. I'll tell you how much it cost later on. So I've had a quick Google at some of the places that do PERi-PERi chicken here. Some of them are closed, but this one that I found seems to be one of the best and is open. So let's make our way there. And here it is, Mr. Frango. Although it kind of looks a bit closed. Let's head in and see if it's still open. luckily it's open and I found a seat. And it's a nice little place. Check it out. Let's have a look at the menu and get ordering. Okay, so this is the menu. Pretty big with a lot of things available. But the one I want to go for, I think it's that one right there. Half a chicken, chips and rice. Basically the same as my order in Nando's. I also ordered a bottle of Coke. Plus they gave me some olives with bread and butter. I'm not quite sure if it's complimentary, but I think I'm going to eat it nevertheless. Okay, I've got the bread. My main meal has come out in the meantime, but I'm still going to try the bread. There it is. Bread and butter. Not bad. Let's try out an olive too. There it is. I think it's actually still got the stone inside it. Let's try it. Right, so here is authentic PERi-PERi chicken. Check that out. Let me give you a closer look. And here it is. Have a look at that. So that's half a chicken, grilled with PERi-PERi spices. You've got rice and chips. This is basically the same order that I would have in a UK Nando's. And how delicious does it look? Let's tuck in. Right, let's start off with a chip. This is what they look like. So they're thin fries, but they feel really crispy. Let's give it a taste. So that is a crispy fry. You get a good crunch on the outside, soft and fluffy in the middle, some good potato flavour. Needs a bit of salt though. That's better. Okay, so next up we need to try this rice. So it's got some sort of spices in it. It's a little bit orange, and the rice is a bit yellow. Let's try it out. Okay, so the rice is soft, fluffy, it's got a nice fragrance to it. I'm not quite sure what the orange thing is in it, but it tastes really good. Okay, so next up it's time for the main event, the PERi-PERi chicken. Check that out. So you can tell the spices on the outside, they're a little bit charred, golden brown. This drumstick meat looks soft and juicy as well. Let's go for a bite of it. That is amazing. Check this out. Look how cleanly the meat comes off the bone. It basically falls apart as you bite into it. So the outside is salty, herby, not too spicy actually, but the chicken inside is succulent, really juicy, perfectly cooked. Right, it's time for some combos. First one, the classic chicken and chips. I can't wait for this. And then next up, chicken and rice. This is going to be just as good. And for the ultimate bite, everything on the plate. The chips, the chicken, the rice. This is going to be epic. Okay, so when you order half the chicken here, you actually get half the chicken. I mean, I'm not sure what part that is, but I think it might be the chicken neck. Is that the neck of a chicken? Either way, it's really tasty. What a great meal that was, really delicious. So the total cost of all that food was surprisingly cheap. It was only €10, so that's definitely worth the price. So if you're ever in Faro in Portugal, Mr. Frango's is a place to go. Okay, so time now is 2 p.m. I've still got a bit of time before I need to go back to the airport, so let's try out some more famous Portuguese food. Right, so this next Portuguese food is probably the most famous Portuguese food in the world, and it's one of my favourites too, and I found a place which is supposed to do a good one. So let's make our way there. And here it is, Pastelaria Padaria Centau. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, but this is supposed to have some great pastel de natas. Let's head in and check it out. And there they are, actually, right in front of me. Check those out. They look amazing. They've even got mini ones too. Let's get one. And here it is, the famous Portuguese pastel de nata, and this is supposed to be one of the best. I have to say, it looks delicious. A nice golden brown caramelized top. The crust has loads of layers and looks really crispy. Let's go in for a bite. Okay, so that is fantastic. The inside filling is creamy, soft, sweet, vanilla-y. We've almost got a caramel flavoured crust on the top. And then the pastry, really flaky and really crispy too. It all combines for a great bite. And this has got like a gingery kick to it. Maybe a little bit of spice. It's delicious. Obrigado. What a great pastel de nata that was. Probably one of the best I've ever had. So the total cost was €1.40, which I think is not too bad. Right, so time now is about 3 p.m. I chilled out of the cafe, had a bit of a relax and did some people watching, and it's nearly time to head back to the airport. But first, I think there's one thing left to see before I do that. So let's go there now. Some of these old streets with the tile floors and the old buildings really gives this place character. It gives it a holiday vibe. And I've reached the sea. Well, not quite. I think this is the Marina area. Have a look at that. A massive Faro sign. Shall I get a selfie? Faro! Selfie done. No trains coming. Let's cross. Let's have a little walk out onto the pier. I think this is where you go for the boat tours. I don't quite have enough time for boat tours today, but I think it's still quite cool to come all the way out here and have a look around. And I've reached the end, and also I'm not quite sure if you can see, but that's the airport right there. Look how close it is. Okay, so time now is about 4 p.m. My plane out of Faro is at 7:30, so I've got about 3.5 hours. So let's start heading back to the bus station where I got dropped off and hope there's a bus back to the airport. You know, I think I forgot to say what that PERi-PERi chicken was like and how it compares to Nando's. Well, I would say it's just like UK pizza compared to Italian pizza. So with UK pizza, it's full of sauce, full of cheese, loads of different types of meat, thick crust, stuffed crust, thick base, everything, loads of salt, sauce, flavour. And that's the same with the UK Nando's. You've got all the different sauces, all the different spice levels, and big portions too. But the PERi-PERi chicken here, I would say, is more original, more authentic. So this was the stop that I got off at, number 16. There doesn't seem to be any other stops about, so I think I'm just going to wait here, and the next bus that comes, I'm going to ask them if they go to the airport. Hopefully they do. I mean, there's a lot of people waiting here, so I'm guessing the next one is going to go to the airport.
Faro Portugal.
Hello, airport. Obrigado. Okay, I've made it on board. Let's head back to the airport. Let's head in, go through security and wait for our plane. Right, so I'm about 2 hours early and my gate's not going to be announced for another hour. And we're finally boarding and we get to do it from the runway. And I am finally back in Leeds. Time now is about 25 to 12. So the plane was delayed. Originally I was supposed to land at 10:40. The plane landed at 11 p.m. Passport control took about half an hour, and also you can feel how cold it is now that you're back in the UK. I think it's about 13 degrees, a big difference from Portugal, which was about 26. Right, let me give you a rundown of the cost that I've spent today, because this trip has been one of the most expensive I've done so far. So let's start with the cost of the food. So the PERi-PERi chicken, that was pretty cheap actually. That all came to €10. The pastel de nata, €1.40. The cost of the bus journey to and from Faro Airport was €5.40. And also I bought 2 bottles of, I think it was Lipton tea from Leeds Airport at the start of the day. Right, now on to the flights. So my flight out to Faro from Leeds cost £65. My flight back was £72. So both combined, one of the most expensive trips that I've had so far. Usually my plane tickets have been about £25, £15, £35, £40 or even £50. But I don't think they've been this expensive. And because of that, I think for my next video I'm going to be going down to my local takeaway to review the chips. I'll see you there.